Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I am actually excited to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 for once. I have been waiting for the right leak for me to be like, oh man, this is exciting. I'm officially aboard the hype train now for the Nintendo Switch 2, because what was leaked just now is something that I am just super excited to talk about, considering what this channel has done for this subject of what we're about to talk about. Oh my goodness gracious, guys. I am super pumped. There has been a lot that has happened with the Nintendo Switch 2 in the last 48 hours. And I'm sure by the time this video comes out, there's gonna be even more things happening with the Nintendo Switch 2. But the leaks that has just happened today, oh my goodness. This is easily the best one yet. There has been software that has been leaked onto the Nintendo Switch. Now, if you guys haven't heard, there's this website, I believe it was a French website. It is one of the most popular French websites in terms of ordering video games. They have dropped a bunch of SKUs of other third-party developers of stuff that they're working on. Some of it we've been able to cover up and figure out what these games are. Some of it we've just been able to find that these developers are working on the Switch 2 and have something pre-order available right now onto this website. There's been so much that's going on with this. There's even stuff with GameStop. GameStop has accessories available, or not available for pre-order, but they had the SKUs of a bunch of Switch 2 accessories available for pre-order, which there's images out there where you can see it's a bunch of the Samsung Express SD cards, Switch 2 accessory cases, all sort of Nintendo Switch 2 accessories were on their SKUs. And now, all of a sudden, those SKUs are still onto their pre-order system, but they've been removed with titles. It is now just called dummy onto the GameStop inventory. We're seeing a bunch of retailers starting to have these things available for the pre-order, available in their system. We're probably about to see a lot of this happen where it gets removed, or they put dummy, kind of like how GameStop did. We're gonna start seeing more of this as we get closer to the reveal, which the reveal at this point is imminent. It is about to happen. This means with all this stuff adding to major retailers, this means we are going to be seeing the Switch 2 in days, I feel like. I feel like we are 100% seeing it now this month. Obviously, in my last video where I talked about the Switch 2, and I don't really like the fact that I'm doing another Switch 2 video, but this is the first time that we've actually started to get good information, things that are actual video worthy, things of people making their own leaks to making videos talking about those leaks. This is a legitimate leak that has the speculation so high, and it just opens the door to talking about so many things with the Nintendo Switch 2. I mean, we're getting third-party games leaked. This gives us a great indication of what we're looking at with the hardware, the type of software we're going to be getting in the first year. This is super exciting. So we're first going to be talking about the 3 games that we know have been officially leaked by this company, because we've been able to compare the SKUs of these games to other retailers that have sold these games, other versions out there, and the SKUs match. And those 3 games, or at least 2 of them, are very exciting. First up, we have FIFA. I know all of us are excited about the brand new FIFA. No, we don't care about FIFA. It's okay. You know, FIFA, that's like the least exciting one out of it. The next 2, super exciting. Tekken 8 is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, if we are to believe this leak, which this one, I'm gonna have to say, with everything that I've seen, I'm thinking this is a very believable leak, because it reminds me of how when the Switch was about to get revealed, we saw a lot of different retailers around the world doing something similar to where all this stuff was available for pre-order, then they had to quickly get rid of it, and we saw companies that were working on the Switch, games that were unannounced. I feel like this is a similar pattern that we're seeing here, which is kind of why I'm starting to think the Switch 2 is coming maybe within the next week or 2, definitely by the end of the month. Obviously, we're seeing Tekken 8 being part of that SKU where it was an available pre-order for the Switch 2. Now, I think what's the most interesting thing about Tekken coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 is I'm surprised that we haven't had any Tekken games on the Switch in general, because Tekken is in Smash Bros. A lot of people wanted to play a brand new Tekken game on the Switch as soon as the Tekken character arrived to Super Smash Bros. And there was none of that. I think the last time a Tekken game was on a Nintendo platform was when Tekken Tag Tournament 2 came out for the Wii U. But that was the Wii U. I really felt that that was a missed opportunity by Bandai Namco, but I guess they see what to do now because they're putting Tekken 8, which is a very big deal. That's their most recent game in the series, coming out for the Nintendo Switch 2. And that's a big game to have on the Switch 2. think that kind of shows the type of power we're looking at with this system. And I might be wrong here, but I don't know if Tekken 8 came out to the PS4 and Xbox One. Don't quote me on that. I just know that a lot of people are saying that this system is about as powerful as a PS4. So the fact that we're seeing a big AAA game that's on next-gen consoles already on the Switch 2, guessing that this is real and guessing it's coming out within the first year of the system, that's a pretty big title to have and shows how great this system might be with its third-party support. And this next one is super exciting. Red Dead Redemption 2. The fact that there is a chance that we are gonna be able to play Red Dead 2 on the go is an amazing accomplishment. I mean, even the Steam Deck kind of struggles to handle that game. It still runs interestingly well, but there's issues with it. And if the Switch 2 comes out and Rockstar has this game available and it runs, I highly doubt it's gonna run 60 frames per second, but could you imagine if they're able to get Red Dead Redemption 2 60 frames per second locked on the Switch 2, an on-the-go experience? Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the best video games I have ever played, and the fact that there's a chance that this is coming to the Switch 2, I think is very exciting. And it's cool to see Rockstar Games very early supporting this system, as we saw that they did support the system within the first year of the Switch, but then they stopped, and then it started supporting it till like years later. I remember when LA Noire came to the Nintendo Switch, I was like, oh wow, we're gonna start seeing some crazy Rockstar Games support. That didn't happen. Could history repeat itself where we're like, oh, we're gonna see some major Rockstar Games support coming to the Switch 2? I don't know. I don't know, but the fact that Red Dead 2 is coming to the Switch 2, supposedly by this leak, super exciting. I believe I remember Red Dead 2 being leaked for the Nintendo Switch multiple times, and I wonder if it's possible that this game was at one point in development for the Nintendo Switch, and they were trying their hardest to make that port happen, and they just decided to scrap it at the end of the day and wait for the next Nintendo console. Because there's another game we're going to be talking about later today that I'm pretty sure that did happen. Now listen, I know somebody in the comments is already like, stop it! I've played these games before! Don't be like that. Come on, this is a big deal for us Nintendo fans because a lot of this stuff could have been really impossible if you think about it towards the Wii U days. Because if you were a Wii U fan, you're like, yeah, this is it. We're never gonna see third-party support like this with everyone dropping out of the Wii U in the early days. And then we go into the Nintendo Switch. Originally within that first year, didn't have the strongest third-party support. It had stronger than the Wii U, but to see the type of third-party support that we are getting within this leak and within its first year is a major accomplishment and something you could have never expected as a Nintendo fan. Now, this is where the leak gets even more interesting. This is where we can speculate further. We have seen the third-party developers, at least some of them, that are working on the system and how they have SKUs available of games that they have made available on this website. Thing is, we don't know what those games are. We just know that these studios are listed, how many games are listed, and that is it. As of right now, we don't know what these SKUs are and if they are comparable to other SKUs. I'm sure as we find out more information about this leak, we could be finding more confirmation about some of this stuff, but I am filming this literally right as this stuff is coming out. So a lot of this is still in the works right now. Let's talk about some of the companies. EA is listed on here and they have 3 SKUs on here. Obviously we know one of those SKUs is FIFA, and it's FIFA. Do we care? I'm sure somebody in the comments cares, but the majority of us do not care about the FIFA series. But what could the other 2 games be? Now, I know that EA didn't really care about supporting the Nintendo Switch when it initially came out. They didn't start supporting it till I'd say about late 2020. And even then, we still wasn't getting the greatest support because it was kind of, we were way halfway through the life cycle of the Switch. So EA just wasn't really caring about putting their mainline games on the system. And one of the biggest things that should have been on the Switch already was The Sims. And I wonder if EA is going to now try to attempt to put The Sims on the Switch too, because Sims being a portable game just makes sense. Having The Sims 4 would be a very big deal, and I feel like that's something they would want to try to do within the first year of the system. The other game is Split Fiction. Now, I'm putting that as my prediction because I know that they really loved having It Takes Two on the Nintendo Switch because that was just such a Nintendo game. The co-op thing, Nintendo family. That's just kind of the perfect system to try to have that co-op adventure on the go, or not necessarily on the go, but that's just the perfect game to have on that Nintendo platform. And I believe that they're going to want to attempt to get that on the Switch 2 as soon as possible, because obviously It Takes-Two sold amazing on Nintendo. I think everyone's going to want to play the next game from Hazelight, and this just makes sense to put on the Switch 2 if you consider the fact that this game is coming out in March. And according to rumors right now, the Switch 2 is coming out in April. So wouldn't it surprise me if we see a Switch 2 version out there, and it makes sense for that to come out within the first year. There's multiple other things that this could be. You know, it could be Madden, it could be, what else does EA make? Most of what they make is garbage anyway, so I don't know. Square Enix had quite a few SKUs on here. And I'll be honest, I don't know either. There's a lot of things that this could be. I feel like the safe pick is Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming to the Switch 2. We know that this is one of the games, supposedly, if we were to trust the leaks, that was being used to show developers how strong the Switch 2 was. So for this to come out on the Switch 2, kind of makes sense if that leak is to be trusted, that Final Fantasy VII was used heavily for the Switch 2's power. It makes sense. What the other games could be, if I was to throw a little bit of an odd one out, because I feel like this is one that's going to come to the Switch 2 at some point. It's in the first year, I don't know. But Kingdom Hearts. A lot of people was heavily disappointed that the Switch only got cloud versions of Kingdom Hearts. And I think Square Enix realizes that. And I feel like they would have wanted to put Kingdom Hearts as soon as possible on the next Nintendo console. Especially considering that we have Kingdom Hearts 4 coming out at some point. Maybe they want to try to get all these games available on that system as soon as possible. As far as other Square Enix titles for the Switch 2, I'm not really sure. There is a lot of games that Square Enix makes, and I think it's safe to say that Square Enix is probably going to be a heavy supporter of the Nintendo Switch 2. So we could be seeing a lot of ports, we could see a lot of their current gen games. They could do more. There's just so many things that this could be. Could be one of their unannounced games. Obviously, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I highly doubt that would come to the Switch 2 this early.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a red alert right now. Red alert. This just in, Mid might be coming to the Nintendo Switch and Xbox. If there's any Xbox owners out there, I can't imagine that there are any. Bruh. Final Fantasy VII Mid-Birth is actually going to make its way onto the Nintendo Switch 2, according to website info found on the Square Enix website. If anyone cares about Final Fantasy VII Mid-Birth, tuck yourself into bed. Bruh. I'm gonna be buying FIFA instead, because who cares about these games? I'm just buying FIFA.
I don't know. There is a lot of possibilities. Could be something Final Fantasy. Could just be a new IP. But obviously, they do a bunch of HD 2D games. That engine started with the Nintendo Switch. Maybe this is a brand new IP, Octopath Traveler 3. I don't know. Something like that would not surprise me. Bandai Namco. Obviously, they've got a lot of things such as From Software. They have such a wide variety of developers. And we know that Bandai Namco, from my understanding, has a few SKUs. I forgot how many at the time. I think there was like 2 or 3. So obviously, we know one of those is going towards Tekken. But there's another one out there. And I think it's safe to say that Elden Ring is definitely coming to the Switch 2. I remember Nintendo posting an image of to their investors, of the people that are working with Nintendo. There was a bunch of developers, and all of a sudden, From Software was on that image. Last time I checked, From Software isn't really putting anything out on the Switch. Dark Souls, but that was like years ago, like almost like 2018, very long time ago. What else are they working on, Nintendo? And I think there was a leak. I don't even know if it was a leak. I think someone accidentally leaked something in their employee files or something. Company was suggesting that they were working on an Elden Ring port for a unannounced console of some sort, something like that. I feel like Elden Ring is definitely coming to the Switch 2. And maybe the Elden Ring multiplayer stuff is coming to the Switch 2 day one with all the other consoles. I don't know. Would not surprise me. It makes sense to see Elden Ring on the Switch 2 though. In terms of other possibilities, I'm not really sure. Bandai does a lot of things too. So this could be all sorts of things. Warner Brothers has one SKU, and it is safe to say that this is Gotham Knights. Now, in the last video, I was hating on Gotham Knights coming to the Switch 2 because I was like, why are they putting this on the Switch? Everyone hated Gotham Knights. Doesn't really make sense to put this on the Switch 2 because Gotham Knights came out, what? I want to say at this point, almost 3 years ago. Am I correct about that? Wow. I remember buying that game. That really feels like yesterday. I bring the fact that Gotham Knights is coming to the Switch 2 kind of makes a little bit more sense now because I started thinking about it. I remembered that Gotham Knights got leaked for the Nintendo Switch, I want to say a little over a year ago. And I was like, wow, that's a shocking thing to be putting on the Nintendo Switch. I wonder how they're gonna make that work. And then I remembered Warner Brothers has kind of done the impossible with the Switch. Most of their ports have been absolutely incredible. So I was like, oh, okay, Gotham Knights, they want to put a Batman game on the Switch. I guess this kind of makes sense. I am having a strong feeling that Gotham Knights was meant for the regular Switch, but the game was just too difficult to port that they had to cancel the Switch port and just save it for the Switch 2. They already had all that money into a Switch port, just put a little bit more extra money into the Switch 2. Makes sense, that way they didn't waste any money. I am pretty sure that's why Gotham Knights is coming to the Switch 2, because it doesn't make sense that it's coming to the Switch 2 unless it was something like that. Like, I remember Gotham Knights getting leaked by a lot of people. I believe Gamefly leaked it. This game was listed. This was an actual listing of it coming to the Nintendo Switch. And we know that Gotham Knights 2 got leaked for the Switch recently. I think an employee listed it, something, I forgot what happened. It got listed that a Gotham Knights was being worked on a Nintendo console though. So yeah, it makes sense. I don't know what else Warner Brothers could put. I mean, maybe an enhanced version of Hogwarts Legacy. I don't know. I feel like they're gonna give a lot of those games free updates to run better on the Switch 2. Don't really know what else Warner Brothers has working out for them right now, because I know Warner Brothers is closing a lot of things. They just let go a lot of Rocksteady's employees. Kind of interesting to see the fact that they're not putting Suicide Squad on the Switch 2, but I don't know. It's a mess with what Warner Brothers is having. It doesn't seem like they're as heavy on the gaming scene, so I'm not really expecting anything crazy from them. Bethesda is listed on here. They have 2 SKUs on here. Now, this could be a wide range of multiple things. It is really hard to predict what this could be because there's so many things that would make sense to come to the Switch 2. Obviously, there's the brand new Doom game. All of the Doom games are on Nintendo Switch. It would make sense that they would want to put that game on the Switch 2, especially if it's a way more powerful system, and the fact that the Doom games sold as well as they did on the Switch, they would want to continue that. So Doom coming to the Switch 2 kind of makes sense, but they also are starting to put Indiana Jones on the PS5 towards the spring. And it had me wondering, you know, if they're going ahead and putting Xbox's biggest exclusive right now on other consoles, such as the PlayStation 5, it would make sense that they would want to go ahead and put that on the Switch 2. Obviously, Xbox has an amazing relationship with Nintendo, so does Bethesda. Xbox owns Bethesda. I feel like one of these 2 games makes sense to be Indiana Jones. Could be wrong, could be a Fallout game. You know, I always said Fallout 4 was going to come to the Nintendo Switch, and that never happened. Kind of makes sense to put something Fallout on the Nintendo Switch with how popular Fallout is right now, and the fact that it's not on a Nintendo platform right now other than Fallout Shelter. Makes sense that they would want to capitalize on that with the show, but I don't know. There is so many possibilities of what this could be. Starfield, I don't see that happening. I could be wrong. Xbox and Bethesda, it's like a coin flip. They change their minds every other day. It's going to be very interesting to see what those 2 games are. And then Take-Two has 2 SKUs, and Take-Two is obviously Rockstar/2K. So one of those games is Red Dead Redemption 2. The other could be the brand new NBA game. I remember when NBA 2K was shown off with the Switch reveal trailer. I think that was the first time that they showed off 2K at that point. I think that was, yeah. So maybe we could see history repeat itself where they're showing off the brand new 2K game. They do a lot of things. This could be a 2K game right here. It could be another Rockstar game. You know, I don't see this happening, but imagine, what if, I'm just throwing this out there, I'm not predicting this. GTA 6 is coming out this year. The Switch 2 is coming out this year. What if that, you know, GTA 6 on the Switch 2, day 1 with all the other consoles? I'm just saying. Or they're probably just going to do something even more stupid and port GTA 5 one final time on another console, which I thought that would have came to the Switch, but for whatever reason it didn't. Switch 2, GTA 5, if it's not going to get GTA 6, that kind of makes sense. I don't know. It could be multiple things. I don't know if it's another Rockstar game. It's probably something 2K. We'll find out in due time. Now, guys, the reason why I was so excited is, remember, I reviewed 100 third-party games for the Nintendo Switch. So to see the Switch 2 get this much third-party support excites me, because this means I get to do my top 10 best third-party game series I did for the Switch. For Switch 2, it's going to be exciting, man. This is one that I'm excited, and I feel that the Switch 2 is definitely happening very soon if we're getting stuff like this. Hopefully Nintendo does something soon, because at this point, wouldn't it surprise me if we start seeing first-party games get leaked? And I know Nintendo doesn't want that to happen, so they really need to hurry up and do something. Guys, I want to know what you think. What do you think these games are going to be? What companies do you think are going to be here? Obviously, there's definitely more companies coming to the Switch 2. You know, I feel like Persona 3 Reload is definitely coming out to the Switch 2 this year, but I could be wrong. I want to hear what you guys think. What games do you want for the Switch 2? What do you think the games are coming from the SKUs that we have? When do you think the Switch 2 is coming out? Exciting times. You know, I know I was pretty negative in the last video because I was getting frustrated, but this is a leak that I can stand by. This is one that's actually exciting to speculate about. This other stuff, that is like forced speculation, man. Y'all are not interested in that. This is exciting right here. Man, I am super pumped. Guys, I have been talking for way too much. Make sure to backslash that subscribe button, like the video, check out the Twitter, check out the Instagram, check out the Discord server, become a Monado Marine, $5 a month, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. I am pumped. Oh my gosh, the Switch 2 is actually coming. Doesn't feel like a stupid leak video. This actually feels like a... Yes, this feels good. This actually feels good. I don't feel bad about making a Switch 2 video now. This actually feels like a really good video. I wonder how these other YouTubers feel right now when they are forcing to make Switch 2 videos for as long as they did. This must be like the best feeling for them also. They're probably way more happy than I am. Let's just end this recording.